Let's move over to this story now in Pretoria. The Senzo Meyiwa murder case continues with Sergeant Bata Mogane testifying today. The soccer star was murdered in October 2014 in Vosloorus, and 5 men are standing trial for that murder. Sipho Kekana is on that story and he joins us this morning. Sipho, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. Let's start off with that heated exchange between Judge Mogane as well as Advocate Mshololo. How did we get to that particular moment? What was the build-up to that moment?
Good morning, Aldrin. So yesterday, as Sergeant Batubakai Mohola concluded her testimony on the stand, Michael Dupree, the vehicle tracking expert, then ascended to the witness stand. And that's when we saw that heated exchange. You'd recall, Aldrin, that when Dupree was first asked to go and compile this particular report, which would detail the precise movements of the car that was driven by Sergeant Vosloorus on around the time that accused number 2 Mogane has alleged that he was tortured. When he was asked to go and compile this report, Dupree, it was during cross-examination. He was being cross-examined by Advocate Charles Mnisi. However, yesterday when he then ascended to that witness stand, the judge made an order that it should be the state that leads him on that new evidence, and it was that then seemed to raise the ire of the defense, who felt that it was during cross-examination and cross-examination should continue. However, the judge insisted that it should be the state because it is still the state's case, and Dupree was the state's witness, so it should be the state that should lead the witness on that new evidence. The judge did not take kindly to that, actually, as the defense almost accused him of a procedural error there. He did not take kindly to that. In fact, telling Mshololo and asking her, "Do you want to run this case? Do you want to challenge the decision that I have made, the order that I have made? Take me on review. Do you want me to recuse myself? I don't have a problem with that. I am happy to do that." So he's actually just challenged the defense to take him on review or on appeal if they are unhappy with some of the decisions that he has made. So we saw there then Dupree on the stand detailing those precise movements of Sergeant Mogane's car, starting on the 31st of May, the day after accused number 1 was arrested, and this is when they took the accused to Palm Ridge, where he then identified, apparently according to the previous witness, Sergeant Mohola's testimony, where accused number 1, Muzisibia, then identified this particular traditional healer in Palm Ridge. As well, on that day, we also understand that they traveled to another traditional healer by the name of Magwaza in Dobsonville in Soweto. So Dupree then detailed all those movements, but of particular interest here, Aldrin, was the movement of Mogane's car on the 18th of June as well as on the 19th of June. You'd recall that according to the defense's version, it was on these 2 days that accused number 2, Mogane was tortured at several locations, at several times, as well as the police, we understand, were forcing him to make those particular confessions that we are hearing arguments on in court and during the trial, within a trial. We understand, according to the defense, on those 2 days, he was first taken to an open field next to the an engine garage in Alberton, where he was tortured in the presence of other police, including Constable Jonathan, Constable Wapumul, and Constable Butelezi. We understand, according to the defense, he was tortured outside of this particular garage. The following day, or perhaps on on that night. The defense version, in as far as the sequence, is not clear at this stage. We understand that they are alleging that at some stage he was then taken to a dumping site somewhere where he was tortured again. He was also taken to a place which had steel poles and steel stairs, and he was tortured also at this particular place. He was then, according to the defense, also taken to Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, and according to the defense, Aldred, this is where then Mogane and his colleague, the late Stephen Mabena, met with Colonel Mohale Rapadu and exchanged keys, and they fetched him to go to Moroka police station. Now, Colonel Mohale Rapadu here, we understand he is the person who on the 19th of June then took that confession from accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. We understand, according to the version, is that from Chris Hani Baragwanath, they proceeded to Orlando next to disused ATMs in an open field. Also, we understand there should have been a dumping site around that area as well, where the torture continued before he was taken to Moroka police station for that particular confession. Now, as I have indicated, this was of particular interest because as Dupree then presented these particular stops, he mentioned that there was something which indicated what is termed GP unlocked at the time that Mogane's car was in the vicinity, almost at the gate of Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital. However, and that was at about just 12 minutes before 4, that car was at the entrance of Chris Hani Baragwanath's hospital. However, just over 10 minutes later, the car was at Moroka police station. Now, the judge asked, is it possible that during that time, that car could have stopped, could have entered the Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, and Dupree then considered that it was possible. If it is possible, if the car would have entered those particular premises, that would be in line with the accused's version that on that day he was taken also to the Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital. However, according to their initial version, is that from Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, they were taken to, he was taken to Orlando, where he was tortured further there. However, according to Dupree, he said, looking at the GPS records of that particular car on that day, from Chris Hani Baragwanath, there is no way that car made a deviation to Orlando, saying that from Chris Hani Baragwanath, it then went straight to Moroka police station. So we are expecting today to hear from the defense how they are going to maneuver around that, because on the AVL records that have been presented in court by the current witness, there is no sign of any dumping site. There is no sign of Orlando, especially on the 18th as well as on the 19th of June, when the accused is alleging that he was coerced into making those confessions at the Moroka police station in front of Colonel Mohale Rapadu. Aldrin?
Just quickly, what we expect to happen today?
So today, Dupree will be back on the stand. He will continue giving final evidence in chief on the presentation of this particular report. When he is done, we are expecting that then Advocate Charles Mnisi will continue with cross-examination. However, as the judge ruled yesterday, even the Advocate Tulani Mgomezulu for accused number 1 and 2 will also be given an opportunity to cross-examine Dupree on that particular report. So all the defense we are expecting will continue with cross-examination. We are not expecting that the cross-examination will end today, but in the event that it would, the previous witness, Mogane, would then have to be recalled back to the stand to then give testimony and explain some of those issues around whether they could have entered Chris Baragwanath Hospital, and some of the new evidence that emerged during this presentation of this particular report. One of them being the fact that on the 19th, we understand that they took the accused to Rustenburg, and it was in Rustenburg where we understand that live ammunition was found in his room, and then he was charged on that. The day before, we understand that he was while they were stuck at an engine garage in Alberton, before Mogane made a trip from Alberton back to Pretoria, where the accused was detained. He made a turn at the Ireton police station, and this was new information, Aldrin. During Mogane's testimony, he had never mentioned anything about driving from Engine to Ireton police station before driving to Pretoria. So we are expecting that those are some of the issues under cross-examination. The defense will be shining their spotlight on. Proceedings are expected to start at about 10 this morning when Dupree returns back to the stand. Aldrin.
Thank you so much, Sipho Kekana, there on the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial.